Absolute Green Lantern, issue 6, Al Ewing writing with JAHNOY LINDSAY on the art. So, finally, some answers are starting to take shape here.
Yeah.
We've got some ideas. And although we don't start with that, we start with a cold open, where we just go to Cameron Chase in this universe, who's at her office, and she's working in the FBI, maybe, or something similar to that at the very least. And
I mean, I would say it's probably DEO, but this
DEO,
universe at the very least.
And it's basically just like her going in, being told that she's going on administrative leave for a while, because she's there's it's just like the vaguest of hints, but it's like, hey, you cannot do the Green Veil case, you can't be a part of that. And it's like, wait, why can't she be a part of that? And I think by the time they reveal it at the end, I did kind of guess what the connection was going to be, just because there was kind of another couple little things, and I went, oh, wait a minute, I don't know if they ever like told us enough about who Joe's like ex was, where I'm like, okay, I think I know where this is going now. But it's very on its own. It's very cold, like I say, cold open, where there's not much context for it until they start talking about like this case that's happening. And then we get the first page with the 4 colors, with the black, the red, the green, and the gold.
Yes, each of them with writing over top of it that officially gives them like their names of the different levels as well.
Which I think is very interesting here is that, so the black is Quard, right? Mm-hmm. Which is the antimatter universe in main Green Lantern lore, right? That goes all the way back to the Silver Age Green Lantern stuff, right? That was like villains came from the antimatter world of Quard. Red being Rao is interesting because that's a Superman word. That's, the god of Rao. So
which is a red sun, like it makes sense.
Yeah. Green is Sur, obviously Abin Sur, right? We have some connections there. And then gold is R, which is AUR.
Yes. I couldn't immediately think of anything that relates, except that, the chemical symbol for gold is AU. So It may just be pulling that and saying like, yeah, it's nothing in lore, but just kind of a real life equivalent.
Yeah, nice little touch. As the order they're in is the same order the characters are in the next page, on the right hand side.
Across like the next 4 pages, like they continue on this panel until they need to mix it up for storytelling purposes.
Yeah, so they do a whole thing where all of this place they're in is Oa. Oa is this dimension. I don't know if it's the right word, but like this
state of mind.
State of mind, yes. And basically, John Stewart and Guy as well kind of understands this because they've both been in here. They understand, what this place is and like what these things are, and like so the black is chaos, right?
Mm-hmm. The lowest level. Yeah.
The lowest level, right? Yeah, there's levels to this. Gold is understanding. Green is anomaly.
No, that's what what that one term is.
She's an anomaly.
She's the anomaly, but green is like positive action. Green is like seeing it's Guy Gardner's the one who says it. Correct action.
Yeah. And red is incorrect action, right?
It's restraint from action.
Restraint from action.
Withholding.
Lack of action, okay. And black is chaotic action, right? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, super funny, yeah. Or super interesting, I should say. So, and it's like, this kind of fits what they all were doing in the story before they got zapped with whatever powers they had, right? Because Hal was kind of too scared to do something for a large part. Or not scared to do something, but he was like the one who was getting the gun, he was the one that was doing all this crazy stuff. So he was the chaotic one, right? And then obviously John figured stuff out. He had knowledge. He was enlightened. So that has led him to being the gold in this group. And then Jo is the anomaly because she did something that basically they couldn't have predicted and didn't make any sense. So it puts this different spin on like things.
And the term they use for anomaly is Tomar.
Yes. Tomar Ray.
Yes.
Very good. So no, very interesting. And yeah, they're in this same order, so we get all these like sequences of black, red, green, gold going down the page, until we get to I mean, even the one which is just John 4 times still goes down the colors, but it goes down in reverse order on his page intentionally. So
he specifically is saying like the way that the Corps sees it, the way that like the Green Lantern Corps sees it is in that order. Black is the lowest, then red, then green, then gold. But not everyone agrees. Some think it's the opposite. Some thinks that black is the highest option, such as the Black Star world, and that's where we get the reveal of this big circle thing that's been apparently in Hal's mind this whole time.
Yeah, we've been seeing it throughout the entire like arc up until this point. We keep going to this thing and there's like a voice. It reminds me of the evil entity in The Fifth Element, where they would do this thing where this planet would be coming through space and you just hear the voice being like, "We're evil, we are coming," blah blah blah.
Not wrong.
So so he explains this to the Black Stars, and there's this planet, and they keep saying how far out is the world that's coming. They say that a bunch of times throughout the issue, and then the reveal here is that this world that's coming, the Black Star world, is Mogo. Mogo is not the Green Lantern world in this Absolute universe. It's the Black Star evil world that's coming, and they have to stop it or do something to deal with it. I mean,
it's they gotta fight it somehow. God only knows what. But I love how they're going through all this. They're saying, and obviously John has understanding. Guy's just kind of being a meditative over in the corner, and Joe's the only one who's just like, all right, that's enough backstory. Screw this. I'm done listening to all this. And she decides, as Green Lanterns apparently do in this universe, to take action.
Yeah, and Joe just decides, hey, Hal, I'm going to fix your hand. I don't have to follow their rules, because I don't even know what the rules are. Just give me your hand. And yeah, she's like, I'm going to help you, right? I believe I can do this. And, she grabs out his hand, and she just sort of demands, let go of my friend, uses sheer willpower to sort of blast it away from him. And seemingly it works. And we go outside, and Hector Hammond's there. He's firing people and doing whatever. And all of a sudden, this causes like a rupture where black goo / rain just starts pouring out of the big Green Lantern ship all over everyone. And Joe flies off like carrying Hal. She doesn't want to be in there anymore. And notably, though, the big thing here is that the ship disappears. Like, it just teleports away, and all that's left is this big puddle of black goo. And is this, like, a formation of what the Black Hand entity was? Is it just manifested into a bunch of liquid? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I really like, there's right before the black goo comes out, like, it's expelling a bit of green light, and you can see it transitions from green to red and then to black, and I really like that visual thing of like it is a spectrum. It is moving down the layers to get down to black, and whatever this is there, that's Hector Hammond's like, okay, whatever just flew off, we know it's going to Coast City. We have no idea where it is. The ship disappeared as well. The only thing I'm left with is this puddle of black goop. And he's just selling to himself like, it's still a win. I can still do some analysis on whatever this black goop is.
Yeah, and then when he brings up Veronica Cale, he's like, tell them that we solved this ship thing. It's gone now. Say you're welcome. Like, right? So basically, the ship went to the moon. We find that out in the next page. We got to a nice, very beautiful looking couple of panels of the moon, and the ship appears there, and John is just like meditating above it. And he says, closer every day, come back soon, Joe. So it's almost like he knows Joe's going to come back, and she just has to go on this like journey of discovery to learn why she needs to fight the fight that she's supposed to fight. So
she needs to come to the level of understanding that John needs her to be at, of like, this is your mission, this is what you have to do for the good of all mankind.
And then we get another character appearing. We get Baz, who also works at the DAO with Chase. She's on the phone to him. She makes a dig about his privacy, and that is, I guess, the explanation we get for why he's wearing his mask, even though he's otherwise wearing like a suit and he's driving his car. But this appears to be Simon Baz, and they do mention her wife a little bit and how she's supposed to be on this paid leave. It's not like she got suspended. But she makes a dig about, oh, there's someone at the door. Oh, like I just like I feel like my ex-wife keeps ruining my life. Somehow Joe keeps doing it, and then of course like it's perfectly built because it builds up to the end of that page, and you know that knock at the door is going to be Joe. And yes, that's the final full page. Is Joe is at the door, Hal hanging off her shoulder, and her being like, "Hey, didn't know where else to go. I need your help." So, yeah. Yeah, I like this a lot, actually. I love that we got the cold open with Chase at the start to set up her up in this world, make her feel like she's got her own thing going on, so that when Joe invades it later on, it feels like a thing. See, if we didn't do that, and it was just like her showing up here, and there was a panel saying, "Oh, this is Cameron Chase," it would have been such a just, oh, I guess we've got her now.
Yeah. I love the way they immediately give her personality as well, where she's waiting for her boss to call her in, and then as she sits down, she immediately just starts chewing out her boss, has a completely foul mouth, and also starts smoking. And her boss is like, "You absolutely can't smoke in here." And she just shoots him the dirtiest look and continues to light it up anyway. And it's just everything you need to know about her character is written out in these like 3 pages, so that by the time we get to the end, we can... A, we're introducing Simon, so we can give him a little bit of time now as well. But B, we can then focus on the reveal of, turns out the ex was Joe.
Yeah, I like it because it, as much as it is just a cold open and a couple of pages before the reveal, it's enough that you're excited that these two worlds are colliding, even though you just introduced one of them on this issue. But because we took the time to do that, this ending feels more exciting because it's like, oh, we already know Cameron just enough that I'm excited to see how these two play off of each other. And that's kind of cool. So...
Yeah. I think my only criticism from like a character perspective is I'm sure he's going to keep popping up, but I would have liked the fact that we got the introduction to Hector Hammond, I think last issue, spend just a little bit more time. I don't feel like I know him at all yet. And we're kind of not there at that point, but if he's going to be sticking around, then I can wait for it. I just want
I'm sure we'll get more for sure. So yeah, I just there's a little hint as well when she's talking to Baz that I picked up on, because I thought maybe they were about to reveal it was Jess, because she says, "Oh, you've got like a new partner. Who you working with? Tell me they didn't put you with, insert random name, Pemberton." And I thought, I wonder if his partner's actually Jess, but they just didn't get to like saying it here, and they'll reveal her later, because we've not had Jess yet. So, because that's true. We've had like most characters. I mean, we've had Kyle, I guess. I don't think
that's true. I don't know. See, it's weird to me because Simon obviously is core. He is part of the Green Lantern. So the fact that they're introducing him here in the DEO means essentially all bets are off. They can introduce any character they want.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Just say like, it doesn't even have to be someone who's, because I mean, Pemberton, the name Pemberton is the original Star Spangled Kid, Sylvester Pemberton from the JSA. So. Oh, sure. Yeah. That's a reference to that.
I didn't even think about that, but yeah, that could be like a nod to that. But I feel like we've introduced so many of the Human Lanterns, except bizarrely my 2 favorites. But like we started with Jo, who's like a relatively modern character. She's only a couple of years old in terms of like creation. So we're just left with Kyle and Jess, and I guess Kelly, if we're counting Kelly, Teen Lantern. Maybe she'll show up as well at some point. But
I'm gonna make the dumbest prediction of all time.
Okay.
So they've established, this is all up in the Northwest. This is like Washington, Oregon sort of area up there. Up there, there's, Alaskan crab fishing and stuff like that. There's going to be a crab shack. And that's where they're going to introduce Kyle.
We'll see. I think the fact that they've introduced Baz here, just sort of nonchalantly here, makes me think we will see the others at some point, probably not even that long or far away.
I mean, I'd agree, but I also feel like they're kind of moving Guy and John off the table for right now to kind of focus on Joe and maybe a little bit of Hal. So, I mean, yes, maybe we'll get them in rotation, but I do think we might actually just go through the rest of the arc and, establish Cameron, establish Simon, how the DEO, or again, we're assuming DEO. I don't think they ever officially say the name.
Yeah, don't mistake me saying that I suspect they're going to be main characters. Like, I think Joe is undeniably the main character of Absolute Green Lantern, and maybe that'll change in an arc 2 where they do rotate the focus a little bit. But I'm not expecting any of these characters to show up and suddenly be the focus. Like, I think, if anything, it'll just be as like with Baz here. It'll be like a one scene kind of thing. Maybe he'll pop back up later. Maybe he won't. I don't know. We'll find out.
It'll be what Dick Grayson was over in Absolute Batman. Just the EMT for one panel.
Sure. But again, I feel like, they probably seed that because they know, in 3 arcs time, like, we're getting to him. But we're not doing it yet. Yeah. We're just teasing it now. So, no. Yeah, I mean, I think, this book, like, as far as the art goes, I think I like the layouts. I like the sense of scale that the art has for all the big things. I love things like the panels of the moon, all the rest of it. And credit where credit's due, I do think it's very good with the expressions of getting the things across. I mean, a lot of that Agent Chase stuff at the start, you said the personality, not all of it, but a lot of it is in the art. I still don't necessarily love the style of the art as far as faces goes, but I've said that since issue 1, but in almost every other way, it's objectively very, very good and very pleasing and consistent. So it's hard to fault, honestly, outside of a little bit of a taste thing as far as the faces goes. Yeah,
I was going to say the sequence where Joe is blasting the quad energy off of Hal is very anime. It's absolutely the like, I'm going to win by the power of friendship sort of thing. And like, that's fine, but it is a taste thing for sure.
Yeah. So outside of that, I really don't have much to say negatively about the art. It is very, very consistent. Love how they introduced Chase. Like this mythology they're building up. I've been enjoying the teases. Now we kind of have this more solidly locked down.
Oh, yeah. No, I feel like part of the draw of Modern Lanterns is this sort of structure that it has, this idea of like there are so many categories to file stuff into, and I appreciate that the Absolute Universe isn't really wasting time just defining that, saying like here's the levels, here's the colors, here's how it's all going to work.
But it's very different though. It's not the color spectrum and all these different colors. No, it's like it's all part of the Green Lantern thing, and they're kind of connected, but one's kind of villainous, and like the bad guys see it as the other way around, but they're all part of the spectrum, but not the same type of spectrum that the main lanterns have.
It's not based off of emotional anymore. It's based off of action. It's based off of positive and negative action in that way.
Yeah, very interesting. Doesn't make me wonder though if we ever do get other colors and how we'd even get to them, given that these 4 seem to be the core pillars of what the whole Owen thing's built around. But
yeah, possible.
That's for another day. No, very, very good stuff. What are you giving Absolute Green Lantern?
I like I said, I really like the structure aspect of it. I like the fact of coming into this one, it gives you just, here's what the levels are, here's what they're going to do, and it's not done in a way that feels overly expository, because this is Oa, this is like this separate realm, so it makes sense that you can just take a second to explain things here. Add on top of that the promise of whatever Cameron, Chase, and Simon are going to do. I think this one's definitely a solid 8 for me.
Yeah, it's expanding its character pool, and it's doing it in a way that I'm excited about those new characters coming into it. I think Absolute Green Lantern is kind of fascinating to me because it's probably the one that feels, well, I guess Martian Manhunter is actually, this is also true for that, but I think Absolute Green Lantern is the one where it feels like the mythology at its core is so different, and he's got a completely different thing set up for it that's just so fascinating to explore. And I think now that we're getting to more solid kind of concrete like explanations of it, we don't understand everything yet, but we definitely have a lot of understanding versus what we had before. It's just so exciting. So I gotta go 8.5 on this. Very, very good stuff.